was skiing in Japan the year before last, and I was in conversation with somebody else. Someone asked me a question about Evo, and the owner of the lodge that we were staying in said, "Hey, what do you guys know about that company or Evo?" And I said, "Actually, I started it a few years ago." And my name is Bryce Phillips, and I am the founder of Evo. And he goes, "Oh," and he's like, "No way! I bought 3 pairs of skis from you. She bought her skis from you, and so did he." And like within this small room, 3 people in Japan. One was from the UK, one was from Canada but living in Japan, and the other one was, I think, from France. And they had all somehow interacted with what we do here in Seattle. So it's just like it really hits home. You're like, oh my gosh, like you have that reach, and being on the web, it's the word travels, and your brand can travel, very, very quickly.
Well, the fact that we're online means we're global. So audiences from all over the world are on our website. My name is Nathan Decker. I'm the senior human of e-commerce. Roughly 5% of our business happens outside of the US. We have the ability to ship anywhere in the world, and we do have customers in a lot of different countries. We don't ship a lot internationally aside from Canada. We are confined in some ways by a lot of our dealer agreements. Manufacturers are very careful as to who can sell their product and in what ways it can be offered. And they want to be able to control distribution in different countries so that A, they don't saturate a market too much, and B, so that the competition remains what they would deem fair. And so consolidating all of that to one particular vendor or retailer, I think is not beneficial to their agenda and their goals. So that's a big constraint at this point. And I think working through some of those partnerships and dealer agreements, I think is step one. Once we kind of work through that and get the green light from some of our bigger vendors, I think then it will become more of a strategic focus. If you want to order internationally from us, you have to call us up on the phone and we have to talk you through it.
I believe I have that.
There are taxes and duty issues that are different for every destination country because it is complicated, and there are different issues for different countries that our customer care team is a little bit more versed in. So tackling that on the website is a challenge. A, for what I mentioned with the brand restrictions, it's tough to, it's just more complex to restrict certain brands on the website to ship internationally, and there are a lot of different shipping issues with regard to like different address formats, all kinds of different just little details that make it really complex. So we've kind of simplified to offer on the website domestic US shipping and Canada shipping, and then if you want to ship it anywhere else, you got to call us up over the phone. But one thing I will say is that the timing is often very challenging because although we have long customer care hours, we're not open from 8 p.m. to 7 a.m., which is like the meat of the day in a lot of other countries. So sometimes the timing makes it challenging. So I think there's big opportunity internationally that we can tap, but there's just so many challenges, and there's a lot of other low-hanging fruit domestically that might have more return for us. So it's hard to kind of figure out where to put your resources.
So I was talking a little bit more with Kyle about EvoTrip, and I know that you have some ideas about Bali.
Yeah.
So I want to hear like what are the thoughts about that so we can kind of move forward.
Well, I mean, the fact of the matter is, and we've seen it play out right now, if you think that what we're doing here isn't affected or doesn't affect somebody in another country, or the economies are not tied in the way that they are, or, I mean, you're kidding yourself. Like everything we do, whether it be something we buy, something we sell, something we invest in, is connected globally. And, I think that, what I've said from the beginning and that I have tried to really promote in every way is like, you got to get out there and just like, touch and feel and experience these other cultures and these other places, because then you really start to see how this stuff plays out. I was in Bali last week, and I was touring a friend's factory where they make True Religion shirts. So True Religion's this big hot brand, you sit by it at Nordstrom and whatnot. And here it is, this factory in Bali where there's, say 60 up to 120 employees sewing these shirts that cost $200 at Nordstrom's in downtown Seattle. And it just it really kind of hits home the fact that everything that we're doing, everything we're buying, all this business we're doing, it is all so connected. Well, I mean, Bali, especially after, it's just a no-brainer. I mean, the place is unreal, and it has all of the pieces. It's got, incredible food and culture and all the things that make a place new and exciting, but to be right on the water or right in the mountains within like minutes makes perfect sense.
So it'd be like ski, snowboard, ride basically in Japan, and then beach, surf in Bali. That's
Yeah,
like the
exactly.
sport.
EvoTrip is the travel arm of Evo, and it's a unique kind of fresh endeavor for us. It's something we've never done before.
The people that we sell to travel. I mean, they ski to travel, they surf, they snowboard, there's all these different things they do in different places, whether it be nationally or internationally. And knowing that is something that they're doing, we're like, well, how can we bring a new service or a new product to this customer that we think that they're either are already doing, and B, we can add our twist and do something even more exciting. And it promotes kind of one of the values that we've always thought is important, getting out there, seeing things, experiencing things. And then if we can help a customer and take them to a place they wouldn't have known about, that gets them that more, much more excited or intrigued about that culture, that place, and for us that's like a really cool thing. And then from the business side of it, this is always just like figuring out how are you continuing to monetize this customer. What are the things, the goods and services, or the the products that you're bringing to that customer that will that they could potentially use or take or buy, that will make to build for even a more solid foundation.
It's a really natural fit for our brand, but it's a very new challenge logistically. There's all these new details that we're trying to figure out. What are the best trips to offer, to what destinations, via what price points. We are working with a partner who is organizing a lot of the logistical details, and that's justfares.com.
Not only have they sold packages into some of these regions, but they have contacts in the regions, and so pooling resources based on where we've been. And that's how we came up with the trips. We came up with the trips based on what do we know about the area already? Had we been there? Did it seem different, unique, exciting? And then is it a viable place to kind of get a group to go to? So definitely they're bringing things to the table in that way, and then we have kind of our side of it, and that's kind of how we have what we have scheduled right now.